I'm here at the League's office in Tokyo. I've come today to talk with the chairman, Shinji Shimada. You can really feel the history of Japanese basketball in this place. I'm looking forward to it. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Talking with us about the ins and outs of the B.LEAGUE is...
We want to develop sports as a business.
A pioneer of the Japanese basketball world, B.LEAGUE chairman Shinji Shimada, and...
I believe the attraction of the league as a business is also increasingly recognized by the Japanese business world.
A management expert and professor at Waseda University Business School, Akie Iriyama.
Wherever I go in Japan, B.LEAGUE is a regular topic of conversation among corporate leaders and business people. Is that so? And that's especially true in Okinawa. I see. Everyone's talking about the kings in Okinawa. Even when I go drinking with local company presidents and executives, they all want to hear about the kings more than anything else. That's why I think across the country, B.LEAGUE is increasingly becoming a big catalyst for business and sports. In terms of business scale, where does the league stand within Japanese society in general? $330 million from the perspective of a startup is quite massive. I was honestly surprised. Many startups start thinking about going public when they reach a scale of several tens of millions of dollars to $60 million. So considering that the B.LEAGUE is a new league, $330 million is a much bigger figure than I imagined. But you want to grow that even more. Yes, much more. We had set a target of reaching $330 million by around 2028. It was a 5-year plan. So 5 years ahead of plan. I want to buy your stock. Please do, but we're running out of shares. What I'm truly surprised with is during the pandemic in 2020 and 2021. Obviously, attendance dropped. It did. But your business scale has been growing. I think that's amazing. How is that possible? Falling attendance naturally means lower ticket sales, so we've grown sponsor revenues more than the drop in ticket sales. Even in those difficult times, local companies became sponsors to support the club, and a movement started to help us make up for lost ticket sales. That's wonderful. So that means there are many sponsors willing to support B.LEAGUE, especially in difficult times. Yes, from around when COVID restrictions were lifted, we entered a slightly different phase, and now we're carrying out an initiative called B-Transformation towards 2026. B-Transformation? B-Transformation is about abolishing the promotion and relegation system now, and transitioning toward a business model that puts teams with business strength in the top category. That's become possible because of corporate efforts and support from owners, as well as increasing revenues. Mr. Shimada, would you explain that a bit more? Sure. The biggest aspect is abolishing the J-League business model of promotion and relegation, depending on winning or losing games that we've been using. Instead, we want to categorize teams on their business strength and how much they're loved by their communities. That sounds radical. It is. I love sports, so I understand it well. But with soccer's J1 and J2 divisions, teams compete on playing strength. And when they lose playoffs and don't get promoted, you see the members in tears. So you're saying B.LEAGUE won't be that way? As long as you hit management targets, you'll be promoted? Yes. What if you can't? If for a certain period management is slack, clubs that aren't performing well in terms of business and don't bring in spectators will be relegated, even if they win games. They have to keep proving themselves. Exactly. This is really interesting. First, you have to do proper marketing and get sponsors, bring in customers and become a team loved by the local community. And as a result, the team can later become stronger. I think that's the concept. Then, various people can propose different management strategies and ideas. People who want to continue being involved in B.LEAGUE and explore business opportunities. I think this way you'll definitely attract more participants. Yes, I think with simply winning or losing games, you have to continue making excessive investments to win. The return on investment, should I say, or this kind of investment is quite difficult. In that sense, as long as you can reach a certain business scale, you'll have healthy management. It's not shown here, but we're also putting forth policies to promote competitive balance, such as salary caps and draft systems. So for investors, it's a very attractive structure. It's not a transformation, but a revolution. We also wondered about transformation or revolution. I thought so. Revolution is too strong a word. I think transformation is perfect, but it's actually a revolution. Did you reference a different sports league as a business model? I haven't heard anything like that. We have zero benchmarks. Really? We're more focused on B.LEAGUE realizing visions, reviving and revitalizing local communities. We want to address social issues in the world through sports. And when we ask ourselves what we need to do, arenas are definitely the hub, so we'll build them. It's meaningless if customers don't come. So we set standards for that.
In fact, in addition to sales and attendance, one of the conditions for B1 division teams is to follow a new standard for arenas. This is the Okinawa Arena, the home court of the Ryukyu Golden Kings. It's designed to accommodate competitions of other sports as well as events. In addition, it's equipped with facilities to provide local services, including health promotion programs, and to serve as an evacuation center during emergencies.
Ultimately, when building an arena, it's necessary to make an investment when there's a promotion and relegation system. But if you lose and are relegated, there's no meaning to having built a big arena. And because of that risk, it'll be rejected by local governments. There's the example of soccer's J-League. You build a stadium and are relegated the year it's unveiled. So there's that hesitation. I actually see big possibilities for B.LEAGUE. Local revitalization is ultimately meaningless if the local community isn't excited. For success, there's something indispensable, a place where people can gather. When you think about the Middle Ages, where was that place? It was the church. In Japan, it was the temple. That's where you come to hear the Buddhist priest speak. So as a result, people gathered there and temple and shrine towns developed, giving birth to business. That's precisely the role of arenas from now on. B.LEAGUE has a restructuring plan called B Transformation. So what do we want to achieve and what are we aiming for? What's our priority? Naturally, there are aspects of competitiveness, of contributing to strengthening the national team, and business and management growth. Another focus is society, such as regional revitalization. We want to be a league that helps address social issues in local communities. We believe we need to shift to a business model to pursue the reforms of B Transformation. That's why we've launched initiatives to build communities, to solve social issues and to realize our vision of a social innovation hub. A social innovation hub. As you can see, it says 5 communities. We have too many slogans, and I'm sure it's hard to keep up. If you think about the conventional sports business, most people have a general idea of fans, the basketball family, and that kind of community. We've already talked about regional revitalization, global basketball, and the development of business people, and those comprise the new sports business B.LEAGUEs hope to establish. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, we have a big vision, a direction, and on top of that, we want to promote regional revitalization, solve social issues, and also realize global or diversity inclusion. Diversity is a key focus. To do that, we want to clarify these 5 areas that are important for the business community and business targeting. We want to demonstrate to companies what we can do and make clear our capabilities so that there's no mismatch with companies that want to be involved in those areas. The 3 on the right, if you take away the word basketball, they're exactly what I talk about to various company executives now. Let's do that. Regional revitalization and global human resources are topics being discussed by companies everywhere in Japan, and B.LEAGUE wants to take the lead in carrying them out. Would you tell me about specific initiatives? We hold regional revitalization seminars with our sponsors. B.LEAGUE does that. Mr. Shimada, you speak at them too. You too? We want to contribute to regional revitalization after all. So together with relevant companies, we talk about community building through sports and energizing communities through arenas to get people to understand what we're aiming for. Listening to you, I really see big possibilities for the league. ESG is a concept that's said to be essential now. Many companies haven't yet figured out how to contribute to society, and it's a key issue for them. But in that sense, B.LEAGUE has taken the simplest but most impactful step of becoming involved with communities through sports, particularly the S of ESG. You're making a massive impact on the social aspect. What are you doing to develop business human resources? This isn't something we're looking to achieve right away, but what we're working towards. The sports world isn't limited to just basketball. There are all kinds of competitive sports, and there's a shortage of human resources in areas such as management. We want to build capabilities to develop those resources. A big concern for local communities. Yes, it's a struggle finding people to become the president of a team or capable executives. One of our plans is to establish something like a management academy to development here to a certain extent and then send them out to other companies. A B.LEAGUE Management Academy. We're thinking of holding classes at B.LEAGUE and building a related community so that talent can be dispatched outside. Interesting. B.LEAGUE has more than 500 players. We want to support them in their second career after they retire. What's absolutely essential to energize the sports world is to bring in much larger numbers of management talent. Also, it's important to have infrastructure in place for players to pursue their professional careers with a sense of security. These two pillars are critical, and we're seeking companies with the same ambition to work with us. So interesting. The sports world is generally weak in terms of management ability. That's why companies get into the sports business without a clear plan and end up bleeding red ink. And when losses keep piling up, they end up folding. What's important is to keep the business running properly and sustainably by increasing profitability. Exactly. Unless you're sustainable, you can't make social contributions. So these are areas, actually, where management is very important. But that's what's lacking quite significantly in Japan. It's not enough. You can send people into those areas, or even more, what would be definitely advantageous for businesses is to become involved in sports team management or the sports community and learn about how to work with local communities. That would be beneficial for people originally in business and help train them as managers. We really want talented people from companies to come to our academy, get trained in the sports business, and to apply their skills elsewhere or return to their parent companies. That type of backflow is very ideal. I want to be involved too. Really? When you open, definitely. You'll be our first member. I'd love that. We still haven't talked about global basketball. Our major premise is solving social issues and energizing regional communities. But we also can't stop the population decline. So getting inbound visitors is key. We can build arenas, and as a solution to solving the population decline, basketball is a globally popular sport. So if there's excitement around B.LEAGUE, and we have impressive arenas, we can get a certain number of people who visit Japan to come to see our basketball games. We're developing a business model for that now, so we're ready when that time eventually comes. Impressive. If we can establish those sorts of exchanges, we can attract investment from international conglomerates and big firms that are supporting the league, as well as foreign companies. We believe that would energize regional communities and allow us to expand our global business at the same time. And we're starting to work towards that now. You're taking proactive steps, and in fact have people working on that now. We have a video showing the kind of work they're doing. So have a look.
The Tokyo office of B.LEAGUE. This woman is in charge of their global basketball initiative. Ayumi Yamamoto, who's with the International Development Group.
I personally love basketball and used to watch NBA games all the time in high school. Back then, I wondered why the NBA was so popular, but not basketball in Japan. I wanted to learn something in the US to take back to Japan, so I went there to study.
We had a peek at the work of Ms. Yamamoto, who's passionate about basketball.
Identifying groups, entering groups, and distributing the groups. And
where is the best placement on TV for sports brands?
I was always asking them if they have any airtime on.
Yes.
Free to air.
Free to air.
They might be able to prepare once a week spot.
Okay. And you say, hey,
She's meeting with a media consultant from a public relations firm in the Philippines. They're in the middle of discussing strategies for terrestrial B.LEAGUE television broadcasts in overseas markets.
Well, first of all, Filipinos love basketball, right? So it's even closer, right? That we know somebody there. It's a chance to show that Filipinos can play internationally as well.
In fact, in recent years, a number of star players from the Philippines has joined B.LEAGUE. As a result, interest in B.LEAGUE in the Philippines has been growing.
With more exposure in the Philippines, we believe we can appeal to companies and sponsors that believe in the vision of B.LEAGUE.
B.LEAGUE's international business is aimed at promoting economic exchanges by drumming up excitement in overseas basketball communities. In addition to the Philippines, they've debuted players from 5 countries and regions, such as China and Indonesia, under special quotas, with the aim of growing the basketball community globally.
The work I'm doing now is to grow the basketball market across Asia. With B.LEAGUE at the center, we're hoping to expand the basketball market in the Asian region and energize people everywhere.
She's so cool. She's doing a great job, isn't she? She is. She travels alone and goes around Europe to negotiate with teams in different countries, and also negotiates with television stations. She's really tough. Actually, due to family circumstances, I happen to spend a third of every year in the Philippines. Wow. Basketball is extremely popular in the Philippines, and if you step out into the city, especially in Manila where I stay, they've set up 3-on-3 courts, and the popularity is tremendous. That's why I think it's so interesting that B.LEAGUE is going into this market. We're actually doing quite a lot there, and I also go often. For example, at Mitsukoshi's. Mitsukoshi's in my neighborhood. We held a B.LEAGUE event at Mitsukoshi. Is that so? I should have gone. We did a promotion there and conducted surveys about people's interest in B.LEAGUE. We have an all-star game in July of 2024, and we're also planning a hospitality tour to get them to see the Japanese B.LEAGUE and experience our hospitality. We have that kind of tour coming up. We don't want to limit ourselves to just the domestic market. Either way, the social structure in Japan is changing, and we need to fully adopt a global outlook and build a solid market. I truly believe we have to develop a sustainable league and become bigger, including attracting overseas fans. In recent years, people in business bring up the word global. It's easy to strengthen regional communities to go globally. But global and local are exact opposites. It's very difficult to do, but I truly see potential in B.LEAGUE. Each team is very local. Turning that into global content and getting people around the world to see it and demand it. Maybe 10 years from now, people around the world, for example, someone In the Philippines, we'll be saying, Utsunomiya is playing bad recently. That's exactly what we're hoping for. In Manila, they'll say, let's go eat gyoza dumplings. We want to create that kind of atmosphere. We want to have more say in FIBA and internationally, and connect our business to sports.
To an era when B.LEAGUE is globally popular. Ms. Yamamoto of the International Development Group is also involved in a project to expand beyond Asia.
Those are the good ones to go, I guess. But
I'd love to go to Cuba, very punchy,
Yeah.
going to a huge...
She's in a meeting with
I think the B.LEAGUE has
the commissioner of the Australian Professional Basketball League. They're discussing coordination between their two leagues.
We're talking about using the pre-season period to hold exhibition games and promotional events. We both have the desire to expand our market together.
Among professional leagues globally, basketball has the biggest number of competitions, and within it, our league is at about number 3 in the world now. Is that so? We've come a long way in just a few years. So we only have the EuroLeague and China's CBA to overtake. That'll happen by around 2028 of our B transformation. Europe is quite hot. Basketball is quite popular over there as well. We're saying we want to become the second biggest league after the NBA. The sports business in the world of basketball will completely change. It's really about social innovation. I think it's truly the biggest challenge for Japan right now. We need to get regional communities excited, with various people building and connecting communities, and if possible, blossoming globally. Everyone talks about it, but I don't think there's been a way to realize that. I think B.LEAGUE has that spark, and I really see possibilities for the league. That makes me happy. I think more than energizing sports, you're truly energizing Japanese society. Thank you. I truly believe in the possibilities. Around the world, from Warsaw to Stockholm to Madrid and to Manila, everyone will be talking about Utsunomiya. All about Utsunomiya. It doesn't matter where. It's just exciting. That would be awesome. Totally.